Namaste, my friends. So this video will be a regular old-fashioned Q&A. I usually make these kinds of sessions more in the live streams, but to be honest, I don't really have that much energy for like a proper live stream at the moment. And anyways, I kind of wanted to like
Come to daddy.
go to daddy.
Come to daddy. Come to daddy.
Okay, so Annika went outside with daddy now, so I have a little peace, at least for 5 minutes. Here I have my questions. Here I have my coffee. Let's get to it. I'll start with a few general questions. A few of them I've been getting actually pretty often recently. This first one might have been my favorite question. Just a simple, how are you? And I have to say that not many people ask me this that often, especially in that kind of like genuine sense that they really want to know how I am. I think this is a super important question, especially when people are going through like major life changes, and just like in general to ask your close loved ones, because it's a really big thing during a bad day to have someone genuinely show interest on how you're doing. Well, it might be obvious after my recent videos that I am sleep deprived, though it's a little better now. My latest videos have been filmed in August and now it's almost October. Annika still has lots of sleep issues, and now she's actually a little bit ill with a cough also. The nights are again a little bit restless, but I've been sleeping a bit better lately, and so has Annika. Every day Annika is able to spend a little bit more time with Dada and Daddy, and that helps me a lot too, even though I don't get to sleep as much as I would like to. I have more time for those kinds of other chores, so I don't have to stress that much about being able to do everything on my own. And another thing that has been asked for the past few months is where do I get my music? And some months ago I got this like paid subscription at musicbed.com, which is a little bit expensive, but I felt like it's definitely worth the money because I get like really good music from there. I find it easy to use and it has exactly the kind of music that I personally love. And on the same topic, there have been questions about what gear do I use. Earlier, for many years, we had Sony A6000. With that, we had the kit lens that came with it, and Sigma 16mm 1.4f, and then Sony 50mm. These two fixed lenses, which I preferred especially here at home. Now recently, while we were in Kochi, I finally made this huge investment in a full frame camera to be able to produce even better quality videos, because I really want to learn to be an even better video maker, and maybe not just like make vlogs and such all my life, but maybe even make like proper videos in the future. Anyways, so now we have Sony A7C, and then I also got a few lenses that go better with this full frame camera, so I have to check these. I have the Tamron 17 to 28mm, and then Sony 24 to 105mm, so both are zoom lenses and will be also much more practical to use once we get to travel more someday, hopefully. Brilliant But Blue asked me, how does Vinod feel about your filming? He seems to be more comfortable in front of the camera these days. And yes, definitely Vinod has been feeling more comfortable now that he doesn't have to just like sit in front of the camera like this and talk to the lens and to like imaginary people there behind the screen, which that's not really his thing. But now that he has like someone to communicate with in the frame, like with Annika, because he usually is just like playing with Annika or talking with his parents when I get some clips of him. So that's more like a natural environment for him. And overall, how he feels about my filming, he's very supportive and encouraging with it. He is the one who, for God knows how long, tried to encourage me to get over my insecurities and start making videos. So yeah, he very much like supports me getting better with this. Not just making videos for YouTube, but just like in general, taking videos of our daily life for our memories, because of course these home videos are most important for us, because one day, 50 years from now, we get to watch how our little baby girl was when she was a teeny tiny baby. Okay, we had to shift here into the garden because we had a power cut, and then Annika was getting a little bit too cranky not being able to be in my arms. So I thought that let's come here for a little peace. And so yeah, now that we are here in our own peace, I think that we can start with the most frequently asked question in the past several months, which is, when are you traveling to Finland? And I probably have been silly enough to think that it would be clear for everyone in the current world situation that this is not a thing that is just dependent on us. Especially for the past 2 years, we have had frequent plans to travel to Finland, which have always been cancelled due to COVID. And then of course, like during my pregnancy and Annika's first months, we weren't even planning trips just to be on the safe side. But now I think at least the spouses of Finnish citizens are supposed to get visas to visit Finland, and we are tirelessly working to get all the travel permissions sorted out to be able to go to Finland. I have this probably naive wish that we would be able to go to Finland in December and spend Christmas and New Year's with my family, but we haven't got the travel permissions yet, so it's impossible to say if we will be able to do that. But fingers crossed. Please keep us in your thoughts about this specific issue. I'm really missing my home and really want to take my husband and daughter there for the first time. And then I was asked, do you get homesick? How do you cope with it? And of course I get homesick a lot. I miss my family especially much, and of course Finland too, because it's just like the way things work in Finland is what I'm like used to, so it's easy for me. And do I even have to say why I would miss my family? It has been especially difficult dealing with homesickness for the past year and a half after I got pregnant, and now with Annika, because I would have wanted to share my pregnancy with my mom and sister, and of course have them to have a bigger role in Annika's first months. But of course I'm really busy and I have my hands full with Annika and other chores, so fortunately I don't get to dwell in my homesickness misery too much. And then when I do get all those like really anxious feelings about it, I more like try to let it go, because I know that it's not something that is in my hands when I get to go there again. And just remind myself that when I'm in Finland, I'm missing India, and just concentrate on the good things that I have going on in my life at the moment. What food or snack do you miss most from Finland, and are you able to get those shipped to India? I have to say that probably before I got pregnant, I wasn't really missing any foods from Finland that much because I love Indian food so much and I was always cooking Indian food at home. But during my pregnancy, I had huge cravings for the foods that I grew up eating. Now, after like all the postpartum and all that is mostly dealt with, I don't have those like strong cravings or anything, and I'm happy eating the food that I have here, but I do still have those lingering kind of that lingering missing feeling of especially smoked salmon, which is my all-time favorite food. I miss pickled gherkins and maybe the like Finnish cheeses. And yeah, if we are able to go to Finland in December for Christmas, I really miss gingerbread and like this Finnish kheer, like rice porridge, and glögi, which is a Finnish Christmas drink. And no, I can't really get those easily shipped to India. We tried during my pregnancy, but most of the things got destroyed in the mail because it took 4 weeks or so. Was it easy to leave your country and move to an entirely different place with a different culture? I don't think I'm the best person to give like a good answer to this because it has never really been that important to me where I'm geographically located. And then because I didn't really feel like I'm leaving my country behind. Like instead I felt that I'm going towards something which is a life with the man that I love. So that made it feel like rather a simple choice. And then I would say that I've always been really interested in different cultures and open-minded and eager to learn about new things. So I didn't really come to India with this expectation that things would work here like they work in Finland. So I didn't have that kind of like high expectations or anything. I was just open to whatever comes. So it has been, of course there have been challenges also getting adjusted to a new kind of cultural environment, but I would say that it still has been rather easy, and I just go by that kind of attitude that let others live how they live, and I'm trying to live how I live. Do we have India travel plans, especially to Haryana? And currently we don't really have, I wouldn't say we have India travel plans. We are traveling to Delhi in about a week because we have to go there for some official business. But we're only staying there for maybe 48 hours or so. And most of that time goes handling all that business. But other than that, we don't have plans to travel in India currently because we are saving all Vinod's vacations to be able to have a long vacation in Finland. But yeah, definitely, hopefully next year it'll be again easier to travel and we get to go somewhere here in India too. Are you planning to settle in India? If not, why not? It's a little bit difficult to answer to this question because I would say that at least our 10-year plan is to stay in India, but then in the like further future, our dream is to have a more location independent lifestyle where we would be able to divide our time more between my country and India, and then also with travel. Even like settling down isn't necessarily like a plan, but if 10 years in India counts, then yes, we are settling in India. Do you think India is a good place to raise multiracial children? This is, I would say a yes and no answer, because I think that like India's secular constitution and very diverse background gives India like good ingredients to be a good place to do that. But then I would also say that I'm a little nervous about the like current political environment where there are lots of like communal sentiments, and there's this rising hatred towards differences instead of letting people live their lives as they please, as long as they don't hurt other people. So if India is able to go back towards those sentiments that it was built on, I would say that yes, it's an excellent place to celebrate all the diversity. But then if we continue more on this path, I think that it might be difficult in the future. And then I also do think that even though India is really diverse, the diversity is different than what we Europeans would think it is, because like in any case, basically everyone in India is of Indian origin. It's just that the diversity comes from those like regional differences and from the religious backgrounds, but still the Indian ethnicity is the prevailing background here. And unlike in Europe, where you can, like for example, in the capital of Finland, Helsinki, you can have all these like several different nationalities and ethnicities. You can have like many different nationals from Africa, Asia, Latin America, and then of course like all the European, US, Canada, Australian, all people from all these like different nations coming together. India isn't a melting pot in that same sense. So for example, once we would put Annika into kindergarten or school here in India, possibly she will most definitely be the only multiracial kid in that class, and I'm not sure if there would be the same kind of like understanding for like her kind of diverse blended background. Then, do you find it hard being white in India? Again, yes and no. I wholly acknowledge that being white gives me quite a privileged position, because unfortunately, due to the colonial background, in India people tend to look white people like upwards, which I think is like wholly undeserved, and hopefully that kind of attitude changes in the future. But people are definitely more eager to welcome me as a white person than if I was, let's say, black. But then, at least for me personally, it makes it a bit harder being here in India, because even though I don't necessarily get that kind of like racist hatred or like negative discrimination, I feel uncomfortable with all the like positive attention and curiosity that my skin color gets me here, because especially in North India, wherever I've traveled, I have lots of people staring at me, asking for selfies together. And by the way, this is like much before my YouTube ever existed, so people aren't asking those for like, oh, you're Johanna North, you have a YouTube channel, take a selfie with me. No, they don't even know who I am. They're asking that just due to my skin color. So that kind of attention to me is unnecessary and unwarranted and has made it harder. Then let's take some questions about like pregnancy, postpartum time, and Annika. What is your take on postpartum depression, and did you have it? I don't really have a take on PPD. It's very unfortunate if anyone gets it. I think that mental health is a really important thing to pay attention to, and especially like I think new moms need a lot of support, not with just all the hard work that comes with it, but also with the like major life change that it is. Like there's lots of hormones whirling in us, and our identity gets a major shift. So it is something that needs to be dealt with properly. And yeah, every mother should get help if they are going through with symptoms like that. I don't think that I had PPD. I definitely had some like periods where I was feeling very down and emotional with mood swings, but I think those just came with all those like major hormonal shifts, and then just trying to adjust into my new role, which was made harder by the fact that for the past 4 months now I've had severe sleep deprivation, which made it harder to deal with all these things, because I don't deal with lack of sleep very well. What is my opinion on formula, and is Annika still formula fed? Annika isn't fully formula fed and hasn't been at any point. I'm doing this kind of like mixing method. I breastfeed her as much as I can, and then other than that I give her as much formula as she needs, as long as she doesn't stay hungry. And my opinion on formula is that it shouldn't be made into like such a villain or an unwanted thing. Women, especially if they have issues with breastfeeding, should be encouraged to offer also formula to their babies without feeling shame or guilt about it, like I have been made feel. I think the most important part is that my baby doesn't stay hungry and grows well enough. I find it really sad that even from like medical professionals there is a lot of shaming with formula feeding, and in the end I just decided that I'm not gonna take any BS for it, and I'm just gonna make sure that Annika is well fed. And yeah, even if someone tries to tell me off for giving her formula, I'm just like trying to tell myself that they don't know anything about our circumstances and clearly don't have the best of Annika in their mind. What would you now as a mother tell yourself before becoming a mother? I think in general I was pretty well prepared for the like motherhood, but I would still probably remind myself that I can read as much as I want to, but any decisions that I might have made before the baby actually coming into our lives will not stick there if the baby doesn't want those things. So just like following what the baby needs and making decisions only then on what is the best thing, and being open for all kinds of solutions. And that Johanna, before pregnancy, it hurts a lot when your baby bites you, but eventually you will get numb. Are there big differences between how a child is raised in India and in Finland? I feel like in India, due to the joint family culture, it is much less just like a parental affair to be raising a kid. In Finland, it would be just like mom and dad who make the decisions, and it's like everyone needs to listen to their views and rules about taking care of the child and go accordingly, whereas in India it's more like a whole family affair. And then especially as we were in Kochi, I feel like I saw the biggest difference, which is that I felt really nervous about going to a fancy 5-star hotel and the restaurants there with a baby who had for many weeks been cranky and has a really loud voice, because I come from the kind of culture where that would be very frowned upon. Like if I was to go to a 5-star restaurant and have a dinner with Vinod and Annika there with us, and she started crying there, people would be looking at us with such disapproval, and it would be clear on their faces that they're just thinking oh my god, what are they doing here? Why did they bring a baby? You are ruining everyone's evening. But when we were in Kochi at Taj and Annika would start crying at the restaurant or anywhere, people would just be oh my god, what is wrong with the baby? As if it's the most natural thing that, yeah, of course they have their baby with them. Of course the baby cries. Everyone is just being worried and not at all judging oh my god, such bad parents, why did they bring the baby here? And yeah, these, at least so far, are the major differences that I've noticed about parenthood. But because of course we haven't spent that much time in Finland with our baby, or we have spent 0 time in Finland with our baby, so many other differences aren't that clear to me, because when I left Finland many years ago, I didn't really have any friends that had babies. What is Annika's favorite food? Unfortunately, mango season has ended, but I think it's safe to say that mangoes are Annika's favorite food. Currently, she is also loving her mixed fruit porridge, especially the one where I blend oats with hot water, banana and papaya. And I might also add that she loves prunes too. She clearly has a sweet tooth. She has slowly been starting to eat more dal chawal, but if she were given multiple choices, she would always go for the sweet things. What's the best and worst thing Annika does? Well, the best thing is very easy, and there are many answers to that. I love her giggles, especially when she's playing with her daddy, and her babbling is the cutest thing too. And just a few weeks ago, she babbled her first word, which at least sounded like the word mommy in Finnish. And I love our breastfeeding sessions when she just keeps tapping my skin with her little hand. Just when she puts her hand on my chest, it just makes me melt. Which is also the reason why I do hope that I will still be able to lactate at least a little bit for a few more months. And the worst thing, it's difficult to say that it's the worst thing that Annika does, because it's not like I anyway hold it against her or anything, but the fact that she is a very restless sleeper and often just kind of wants to practice rolling and kicking and all these different gymnastics movements in her sleep when she's next to me in bed. that is the worst thing because I don't get to sleep that much because of that. Are you planning to work? I do actually work already. I haven't stopped at any point, but like I don't work much. I would say that like mostly I am a stay-at-home mom, but I work a little bit from home. So I write articles to Finland, and then I do also put in a lot of work to my videos. But while we are in India, it is very unlikely that I would be working in the full sense of the word. I might get some more jobs if, like, after 10 years we do relocate to Finland, because now here it is Vinod's career that is on the like priority number 1 spot, and I feel like if we were to relocate to Finland, it would be like my duty to give him like time off and then take the major responsibility of making a living for our family. Let's end this video with one more question that might be about a little sensitive issue, but I still decided to give an answer to this. Do you want more kids in near future? No, and it's very likely that we don't want more kids even in further future. I'm never going to say never, but at least at this point we feel like our family is full with Annika here. I don't feel like we need any more kids to like make our family complete or anything like that. We're just like completely head over in heels love with Annika, and we have been pondering all these like different practical aspects about like what kind of lifestyle we want to have and what are like our personal resources to be able to make our family bigger. And since it has been quite a challenging time with Annika and we are very exhausted and we don't really have a support network close to us all the time, at least for the time being, we feel like we are going to be a 3-person family. And that concludes this Q&A session. I hope that in a couple of months I'll have maybe energy and time to do another live session where we can go through more questions and all that, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon again with that kind of normal home life videos, and hopefully traveling too. Keep your fingers crossed. See you soon. Bye. Mwah.
क्या सोच रहे हो? जाना है? अभी जाना है।
Isi on siellä kanssa.
कैसे आऊँ? अभी कैसे आऊँ?